Alright, so far our application is looking good. We have already added a lot of feature. The next feature I want to work on is load more button on the home screen. So when your application grows, you will have hundreds of these posts, so you don't want to show all of them here. So what you can do is you can show certain amount, maybe 5, 10, 20, and then as the user scroll down, you want to show the load more button, and when they click on load more, you will fetch for additional post and then just render on the screen. All right, so for that we need to first know how many posts we have in total in our database. All right, so first what we're going to do is we're going to send a request to our backend, and that will give us the total links that we have in the database. Now based on that, we can first maybe show 2, 5 or 10, whatever we want. So we don't have many posts here, so we can just show 2 at the moment in the beginning, and then we show the load more button. We will show the button based on how many links we have in the database in total. Okay, so as long as we have more posts in the database and we are showing less here, that means we can show the button so that user can click to view more posts. All right, so let's see how that works in practically. So we're going to try that. So the first thing, let's go to screens home, and let's use the button, and we can use this button which we have used in our login screen and even here in the account. So if you have a look, go to account, that button I think is called submit button. So that is in the components auth. So let's use that button. That's a nice button, and we can use that here on the home screen. So that button is here, components auth submit button. So this is basically a button. It takes the button title, the function that will execute when it is clicked, and then the loading status. All right, so we can use this button. So let's import that in our home. Import submit button from components links. Sorry, that's not right. So components auth submit button. Okay, so once we have that button, we can render that here. Scroll view. Let me just put that here. Let's give it a title, load more, handle submit. So we can execute a function. Let's call it load more. So we can execute that function whenever the button is pressed. Load more equals to for the moment, let me just console log. Okay, so now you can see user scrolls, and then they will see load more button. If they click, at the moment nothing happens, but first now we're going to make a request to our backend using use effect from this page to know how many total posts we have in the database. Then based on that, we can decide whether we want to show the load more or not. Right, so let's head over to our backend, create a route. Let's call it link count. So router dot get, make a get request to links, slash links count. So we can create this function links count. So let's go to controllers link, exports link count async request response. We try. So here what we want to do is we want to get the estimated total count, and there is Mongoose gives us this function called this one is called link count documents. Okay, let me just try this one. Console log. Let's see what we get. Okay, now just to give it a try, we don't have the functionality yet. We can still try. Go to this route, link count, and have a look into our server. So let's see what happened. The links count is not defined. Routes 22. Let's have a look. Links count is here. Let's move this. Let's move this. Before we got any of the params, let's move here. Let's go to controller, exports, links count. Also, that's missing S. All right. So we can try from the browser as well. Localhost 8000 /API/links count. And we got 7. Awesome. So that's how we can get the count. So we got total 7 posts in our database. So that's great. We can send that JSON response to our client, and let's also update this response so that we send maybe just two links. We don't have too many, so let's try that. So if you go to home in the client, we have made request to paste the links, get request to /links. So if you have a look into our backend for the links, routes links, that is the controller links. You can see we are sending all the links that we have link.find. Now let's make change here so that we are sending only the certain amount of links, and then as long as we have more links in the database, we're going to show the load more button. When they click, we will send more. So since we don't have too many links, let's just send 2 of them to start with. Okay, so here let me create some variables. So per page we will be sending 2, and we need to access the page as well. So which page we are at the moment. So when the button is clicked, we're going to keep track of the page count or screen count, whatever you like to call it. So we're just going to increment by 1. So each time it is increased, so whatever that is, we will send that page to our backend. Right, so let's page equals to request params.page. We try to access from the params. If we have, then we take that. Otherwise, by default, we use the value of 1. All right, and then we try to find all the links. We're going to skip the page, whatever that is, -1. So we'll skip that one. So let's put it in a parenthesis. So we're going to multiply. So that page, whatever we get, -1 multiply per page. Okay, so that's how we're going to, that many links we're going to skip. Then we have the populate, sort, limit per page. So that's going to be per page. All right, so with this change, If you come and have a give it a try, let's reload the screen. You see now we are sending only 2 links. It's a power page, we're sending just 2. Now each time this button is clicked, we're going to store that page value in the state, and we're going to send that to our backend, and based on that the certain amount of the links will be skipped, and then the newest ones will be sent out so that we can display here when they click.